Okay, so welcome back to the channel. I've been gone for a while. And I'm back because I saw something in the recent Star Wars show, The Acolyte, that really interested me. And that's this. This is a sketchbook that's in the show. One of the twins has it when they're young, like it's 16 years before the show actually takes place. And I really want to recreate this thing. One, because it's a triangular sketchbook. I love sketchbooks. Um, so we're gonna make this. There's a couple of things to it. Obviously, it's triangular. It has a leather cover from all the photos that I could see. It has a little flap that flaps back over it to close it. And then when I saw this, I immediately knew what this was, but we'll get to that in a little bit. What the pages are made out of. We're gonna start by making a template that we can make this shape out of. So we're gonna go to, and you can see it here again on the table. I'm gonna go to the software I use mostly for drawing, which is AutoCAD, just because I've been drawing on AutoCAD since I was very young. We're gonna start with the square. So I'm gonna draw a square, and I'm thinking 7 inches by 7 inches is uh, a good size to start with. I think that'll feel good in the hand size wise. We're obviously going to want to rotate that 45 degrees, like so. Move that up a little bit. Now, if we look at it, that is, to me, not quite the right shape, right? You can see, I think, that it's a bit more pointed, meaning that if you were to lay this flat, it wouldn't make a perfect square or diamond. It is elongated. I think it's very clear here that it is not, this is not a 90-degree angle. Now it's hard to tell what that is, but I think we need to make this point come out, and I'm gonna make it come out until that number is 8 inches. Oop, that's not what I meant to do. Let's do it again. Here we go. I think that's probably about right to me. It's slightly pointed, but not super pointed. So I'm gonna go with that. We're gonna mirror it over to the other side. Here we go. Right. So that is our basic shape there. Now we know that there's a flap that goes, I might have to make that a polyline, that goes from the middle to here to there, because when it closes it folds over. Alright, so that's going to be our flap. We can swing it out about this point. That. Right, so that is the shape we're looking at. Now obviously we're going to want to round it all the way around. And even here, because they're not straight edges. So we should, and we also want to do the paper. So right now I have, let's offset this shape here by, say, 1/4 of an inch, about that. And let's change the color to one of the red ones. It doesn't really matter. Alright, so that'll be our paper, and this will be the leather book. Then we want to go ahead and fillet the corners. We are set to, what's our radius? 1/2 an inch seems right. Let's see. Yeah, I like that. 1/2 an inch will do. We're gonna do that both here and here, and we're gonna want to do it here, here. It might be too much there. Let's not do that one. Let's see. We're gonna want to do it. We just undid it again. Fillet here, here. Fillet here. That's also too much. So Let's change the radius to 1/4 of an inch for this one. I think that's better there. And the same here. Yep, I like that. And I mean, that's pretty much it. We're gonna trim that. Make this there. Now we can match this one to that one, because that's not gonna be a cut. So I think that's our shape, right? That's the shape of the leather, and that'll be the pages inside of it. So that was quick. I'm gonna print this out and we'll go from there. Okay, so I printed this out, now I'm back because I realized an issue once I printed it. And if you look, the paper, which is from this corner to that corner, measures 9 1/4 inches, which is a problem because I'm not going to be able to get the paper that I'm going to use at that size. So all I did is I moved this over here and I scaled it down so that from here to here it measures 8 1/2, because I can get an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of the paper, right? And if we go back to the show, right, this is the paper they were using, which is a black paper, and she was sort of scratching into it, right? So I immediately recognized this paper, because what this paper is this stuff. This is called scratch paper, and it's silver foil. They make it I think gold as well, and they make it with rainbow colors if you wanted that. But I've seen this before, so this is what I've ordered. It's on its way. But you can see the biggest size I could get it was 8 1/2 by 11, which is a standard size here in the US. So that's why I just scaled this down. So it's going to be slightly smaller than what we have, but we are now going to be able to fit an 8 1/2 by 11 sheet this way, and we'll have to trim the edges to do that. When you go back to this show, if you look at the pages, and it's hard to see here, they're kind of scraggly. And from what I could see, it's just the pages are just folded over here. You can see they're just sort of folded over themselves. So we'll be able to get the paper to do that very easily by folding them in half. So here it is, it's slightly smaller. And now I'm gonna go ahead and print this as a template. Okay, so here we have the 2 sheets. So I printed both 8 1/2 by 11, but I do also have access to a large format printer, so I also can print it on a bigger sheet. But I wanted to show you how we would do this here. So we're gonna cut along this line, and then we're gonna tape it together, and then cut the whole thing off. And we've got a metal edge ruler. There we go. So now we know that matches up perfectly right there. And now we just gotta tape that, and we have our entire pattern. And the reason I did it in small parts is to sort of lock it down first, then tape the bigger pieces. So now we want to go ahead and cut out the entire thing. We're going to cut out to the leather. I have my roll of leather right here, and I have the paper here for later. All right, now we have our pattern cut out. So now the next part is to cut this out of leather, so you can already start getting an idea of what this is going to look like. Okay, so here we are. We're about to cut it. I have the leather here. I don't remember the thickness of the leather. I'll try looking it up and put it on screen if I can find it. I've had this for a long time. It just happens to be a nice brown color, which is similar to what the one was in the show. So I have the pattern here. I'm just holding it down with some 1 to 3 blocks. I'm gonna mark it with this tool, the leather marking tool, and then we'll cut it. Okay, so here are the sheets of paper. These are the scratch and sketch paper. So you can see it's black, like the one from the book. And here I have a scrap piece. I'll just show you. So when you scratch, well, I guess it's got to be more pointy than that. Here we go. See, so you can just scratch and draw that way. And you can see the silver starts to shine through. Yeah. You got to get the right tool, obviously, which I guess I don't have. I'll have to find the right thing, but there you go. That gives you an idea of how you scratch and sketch. Maybe that's better. Like that. So we're gonna cut these pieces to fit. So all I did was cut out, where did the template go? So I printed two, right? So the template has an inner dark line. That is the line for the paper. And it's made to fit an 8.5 by 11 sheet. You just line up the tops and put them down. And then just cut along the edges. So let's get that going. So here is the finished sketchbook. Has the flap that opens and holds it closed. Then there's the paper. I did a quick binding on the paper here, and I've just laid it on here because that's how it looks like it's being held in the show, you know. But there's the idea behind it. So I think it's, you know, pretty close to what they had. Maybe had more pages. It's obviously more worn on the show than this is, but you know, with time, I think this will wear. The other reason why I didn't glue this in here is because I might make just a plain paper one to just have in here from time to time, and be able to use it as regular paper. Also, you know, because, you know, why make one when you can make two for double the price? So I made a second one, and I also, with the scraps, I also made a little tiny one. This one I did glue in here, so you can go page by page and draw on it. It's sort of a small version of the same thing, you know. And then again, there's still, the leather's got to wear a little more, and I've binded the paper to try and keep it flat. It's quite thick, and it's getting there. So, but there you have it. That's the Acolyte's sketchbook. I will put one of them, since I have two, I'll put one of them on my Etsy page. I'll put a link to that in the description. If you don't want to make your own, you just want to buy one, it'll be there. I may even put the little one. And I have more scraps, because as I was cutting the paper, I ended up with a little scrap triangle. So maybe I'll make more of them if people want them. Also, all of the templates that I used to do this are going to be in the description. You can download it, cut it yourself, and make yourself one if you want. Hi, I'm just cutting in here real quick to show you essentially what the download will be, which is, this is the 8.5 by 11 version of it, and you'll see it's just the page that you can cut through, and you'll cut and match. There's the second half of it, you tape them together. And then the other thing that I included, which I didn't do on mine, is I gave you the page that we see in the sketchbook from OSHA, which is this page, right? I didn't put this line with two dots on mine. I could have cut it out of a vinyl. I have the vinyl cutter. I could have cut it and stuck on one of the pages, and then I could draw this on there. I didn't do that on mine, but I am giving you that page in the download if you want to cut this out of something, glue it on a page, and then scratch that in. It's to scale to the page that we have. That way you have essentially the full prop from the show. So that'll be part of the downloads as well. And then I will make one that's the full page if you have bigger than 11 printing capabilities. I just wanted to share that with you. And it'll just be on there for free. It'll just be a link. And you can download it yourself. Make your own. Hopefully you like this. I'm happy with it. I never thought about making a triangular sketchbook, so it was cool to see in the show, despite what you might think of the show, and other people didn't like it. I didn't mind it. I love Star Wars. Was it the best show ever? Probably not, but it was fun enough. So there you have it, the Acolyte sketchbook. Hope you enjoyed it.